Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mike, and I'm back to talk about the Tesla Cybertruck. The vehicle that we all didn't know we needed. So unless you've been so enthralled by the impeachment proceedings that you missed the news, last week Tesla rolled out one of the craziest, most wackiest products in the history of mankind. So the Cybertruck, let's talk about it. I'm sure you heard the news. There's been all kinds of buzz online about it. People are reacting quite vigorously to this new vehicle, the Cybertruck. There are memes popping. Even the mainstream media got in on the act, although unfortunately for them, they've kind of missed the narrative here.
Despite a bold rollout, complete with smoke and lights, the Tesla Cybertruck is off to a bumpy start.
Tesla's Cybertruck reveal had a few cracks. Christina Parts-Davalos with the details now. Christina.
I feel like that's an understatement. Tesla breaks the unbreakable. Shares are falling after a disastrous reveal of its latest vehicle. It's called the Cybertruck, an electric pickup meant to compete with the Ford F-150 and perform like a Porsche.
The unfortunate moment today for Tesla. During their high-profile rollout of their new bulletproof Cybertruck, as they call it, the windows, they say, are unbreakable. Well, then they tried to prove it.
As you can see, they're all wound up thinking this was a huge failure. Now, to be fair, Tesla's stock did drop when this thing came out. I think mainly because there was a bit of a hiccup. Elon was trying to show off the amazing qualities of this glass that they've added to the product. It's this, they're calling it transparent metal to show off how strong it is. He had one of the designers throw a steel ball. Well, I'll let you take a look.
Sure? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
Should we try the beer?
Sorry? It didn't go through. So that's a plus side.
Let's try the beer.
Try that one? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, man.
It didn't go through. All right. Not bad. Room for improvement.
Yeah, so that didn't go so well, but quite frankly, Elon handled it well. He's like, well, at least it didn't go through, and we've got some work to do. But I think that the rollout of the Cybertruck is a masterstroke in brand strategy. Now, a lot of people are talking about the text of the product and the design of the product and, conjecturing, will this thing work and will it take off? I don't think that Elon Musk is trying to capture the $100 billion truck market. I don't think he's trying to capture the pickup truck market. I think the whole thing behind the Cybertruck is brand strategy. Now, I'm not saying that I think that this is a fake product. I think this is the real deal. And I think that's actually part of the genius of this brand strategy of rolling out the Cybertruck. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's talk a little bit about what is a brand. What is a brand? For me, in its most simplest, most pure terms, a brand is a promise. It is the promise that a company makes to its market. When you go buy its product or service, it makes a promise to you that it's either going to be low price, high quality, efficient, works better, and all these things. It's making a certain set of promises, and each brand makes different promises to its market. And when you make a promise, you actually create an expectation. I guess the question then for me is, well, what is Tesla's brand promise? And this Cybertruck got me thinking about that. I started looking at this and saying to myself, what is the real brand promise? Now, some people might say the brand promise is electric vehicles. Some people say, well, it's getting rid of, fossil fuels. Some people say, well, it's, putting people out into space with the SpaceX project. There might be differing ideas, but I think after watching this rollout and kind of looking at the company and taking a look at the different things that Elon Musk and Tesla are involved in, I think the brand promise is delivering the future today. Delivering the future today. You can have the future. Now, one of the things that kind of struck me when I was watching this rollout and some of the videos that have been made about it on YouTube by other tech reviewers is that, I remember growing up and looking at the auto market and seeing some fantastic looking vehicle that's just kind of crazy, bizarre vehicle. And then, I can't wait to see this thing on the road. I hope my parents can buy one. I want to see these things driving around, only to be disappointed later to learn that, well, no, that's a concept car, son. And that's not how it works. The auto industry puts out this crazy, wacky design, but that's really a concept. And then what it'll do when it comes to production time is it'll deliver something kind of vanilla. Maybe it trades in on some of those concepts. But the kind of idea behind the concept car for the auto industry was a way for it to flex its muscles, to let the market know that it was innovative, that it was creative, that it was thinking about the future, and that it was working busily in its skunk works to come out with the car of the future. And so in the meantime, please buy our Buick Riviera or our Ford Torino or whatever those cars were, because we're the car company of the future. The concept car and the reality of the production car, there's just always this huge gap. And I found it, and I think many people did, disappointing because the concept car caught my imagination, it caught my breath, and that's what it was supposed to do. But there was always this letdown afterwards. And I think the genius of what Elon Musk and Tesla is doing right now with the Cybertruck is they're rolling out what would have in the past been a concept car, but they're selling it as a production vehicle. You look at the design of this vehicle and it's like nothing you've ever seen, and part of your mind just says, yeah, it's probably a concept car. No, this thing is going to be available to consumers as is. They're gonna have to tweak a couple things like add side mirrors so that it's street legal. But this truck is going to be a reality. What people saw at that event and what people were in and driving around in is very close to what consumers are going to be able to buy. To me, this is a statement from Tesla saying, we deliver on the future. Imagine the most wildest looking vehicle, something that you would see in a science fiction movie, maybe in an Aliens, a Ridley Scott or a Star Wars. Imagine something that you'd see in a video game that you'd play. Now we are going to deliver this as a reality. There's a couple more things about this I think are very interesting. One is the fact that the tech specs of this vehicle are going to compete with any pickup truck out there. It's going to be able to go faster, quicker than most pickup trucks. It's going to be able to tow just as much, if not more, weight. It's going to be able to hold more in its bed. Specifications wise, this thing is really impressive for an electric truck. It just outperforms everything out there. Now, I don't think that Elon and the folks at Tesla are trying to peel away that blue collar, tough guy, common, typical truck buyer. The ones that are always in those ads that we see from Ford and Dodge and so on, where, it's big concrete slabs falling and oil well pumps in the background up and down and guys with big, dirty, sweaty biceps. I mean, it's just so cliche. This truck is not going to pull these people away. I don't think that Elon is trying to do that. So here's what's really interesting, not only about the design and the statement that I think that Tesla is making, and also the technical specifications. This truck is rolling out at base price of $39,900, just under 40 grand. This thing is like really accessible. And at the high end, it's going to be in the 70s. This is a truck for the people. But when you look at the design, it does not look like a truck for the people. This looks like some kind of $100,000 bizarre DeLorean on steroids. And you look at this, you go, it's never going to fly. No one's going to be able to afford it. People aren't going to want to drive it. It's going to be the elite of the elite. And they're just going to turn their noses because who wants to drive a thing like this? I'm telling you, this thing outperforms. The design is iconic. It's like nothing else out there, and it's affordable to most people with a decent job. Most cars on the road right now are in the 30s and 40,000s. You can't buy a car for 20 grand or less. Not one that you feel safe in. I mean, there are cars available, and people do buy them because that's what they can afford, or that's what they want to spend their money on. But the average person can afford a $40,000 vehicle. And so I think what you're going to see is this mass of people buying this crazy looking truck, and you and I are going to go around about our business in the next year or so when these things start hitting the road, and we're going to see this crazy science fiction vehicle driving down the road. They're going to become more common than Lamborghinis and Bugattis and all these other exotic cars, Ferraris that you see driving down the road, and you're going to go, like right now you see a Ferrari, you go, hey, there's a Ferrari. You're going to see Cybertrucks. Think of that, Cybertrucks, just the name, Tesla Cybertrucks driving down your street, and it's going to be remarkable. There's nothing like it. In fact, if you think of truck design, this isn't just an evolution of truck design. They didn't make the curves a little sexier. They didn't play with the lights to make them a little bit more cool and modern looking. They just threw out the design and started from scratch, and there's not a curve on the vehicle except for the tires. There are no curves. It's all polygons and angles and shapes. It's just crazy. So all that to say, I think that this is a masterstroke from Tesla on its brand strategy. It's telling you and I, the world, the consumer, we deliver on the future. We allow you to enjoy the future today. Just look at some of the other projects that Elon and Tesla have been associated with. You know, you're selling flamethrowers for a while there. They've got SpaceX, and they've got their spaceship rocket project where they're able to bring a rocket and land it back. They're just doing so many unique, crazy things. Now, I've not been an Elon fanboy. I'm a little skeptical of things like technology and a beautiful technological utopia, quite frankly. But as a branding person, as a marketing person, I look at this and I think, bravo, well done, Elon Musk and the people at Tesla. You were brave. You staked out a position that no one else has the guts to stake out. And I think it's going to pay off multiples for you in the future. I think when these trucks hit the road, they're so accessible, they're so high performing that you are going to set yourself as the leader in the automotive industry in a way that other car brands could only dream of. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you think that I'm maybe drinking the Kool-Aid and gone off the deep end here? Or do you see what I'm talking about? I'd love to know in the comments. Do you love the design? Do you hate it? Do you think this is a smart move? Do you think it's foolish? And where do you think this thing's going to land in the future? All this is predicated, of course, on the fact that I believe they're going to deliver on this project. If they don't, then they have fallen short of their brand promise. They're promising to deliver this amazing experience. I believe they're going to, and if they don't, it won't be on purpose. It'll be because they've screwed up somehow, which is going to be a make or break. It's a very bold project. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more commentary, insight on branding, entrepreneurship, and all things Mike. Do me a favor, give me a like, and as always, don't forget, I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next